Today on the Daily Smoke, Norman Yeung from Todd in the Book of Pure Evil. Bet he has a lot to say about that tonight, Tristan. You know, I bet he does. Back to you,
I'm gonna take a piss. Is that cool?
Yeah, go take a piss, Norman.
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
Alright, sounds good. We're saving that. Oh.
Is he taking a piss?
Yeah.
My dongle is having a problem.
Your dongle?
My dongle is having problems. My dongle. Is the connection any better now?
No, you fucked it up. Leave it alone.
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn off this phone.
Let me know when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah. The connection's good.
Yeah, it's great. Alright, I guess we're gonna start off with first and foremost, your reaction to the cancellation of Todd.
Okay, hearing about Todd getting canceled, or actually, you know, we've kind of used the word unrenewed.
Okay.
I think they might mean the same thing, but they may be something specific, you know, very different, because the producers are still looking for other options to continue the story. You know, talking to other networks or considering maybe a type of a film, some kind of film, maybe animated, or you know, live action film, or a comic book or something, you know, keep the story going. So when I heard of those options from Craig, our showrunner, that took some of the sting away, you know, because none of us, I mean, we all love the show, so we didn't want to hear any kind of bad news about it. So to hear that there was some kind of optimistic, you know, option, definitely made me feel better about it. But I love this show very much, and I love my character, Eddie, so to keep it going would give me great thrills.
I mean, for the character Eddie having minimal lines, it was such a substantial character to, you know, the metal dudes and the whole situation. I mean, you say loser, and we all know who it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how's that when you go out on the street?
It's, the three metal dudes definitely have their own dynamic towards each other and within themselves, and we are quite different characters. So I like that my stuff is quite different from Brody's and Rob's.
Loser.
Loser. Loser. Loser.
Loser. Loser. Loser. Loser.
Loser. Loser.
Loser.
Loser.
Loser.
Loser.
Loser. Loser.
Loser.
Loser.
Loser.
Yeah.
And so the onus is on me to, I guess, convey a lot more, communicate a lot more through not saying too much.
Yeah.
I am the quiet guy of the trio, and but also I'd say the most sinister. And when I say something, I really mean it, and I don't waste words. And it all often gets encapsulated in loser, which I like a lot.
So especially when you're like, when you
What's that you're smoking?
Oregano. Loser.
all heart right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm full of passion whenever I talk about oregano. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I guess I want to ask, like, so I know we already went through this before, but you keep in contact with pretty much a fair amount of the cast?
About the cast? You mean like my relationship to them?
Like, you keep in touch with them after the fact?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Some of the cast isn't always around. Like, we're often in different cities, all of us. You know, we're keeping busy with our work that takes us to other cities. We travel quite a bit, is what I'm saying. So definitely, internet has helped us keep in touch and all that stuff. In terms of hanging out in person, Steve Arbuckle and I hang out regularly. We're buds. I mean, the metal dudes especially, we three are quite tight.
Yeah.
When we shoot in Winnipeg, we hang out all the time, the three of us. We eat dinner together. We're kind of inseparable. And one time at a party, I think it was, Andrew Rosen, one of our producers, the three of us showed up, and together, obviously. And he said, you know, you guys are individuals. So, you know, it's just kind of like our trio is so tight that we kind of expect to do everything together. And the rest of the cast, yeah, I mean, I run into Bill Turnbull quite often in the streets.
What the fuckles?
Because we hang out at the same parties and like the same music and all that. Same with Brody Sanderson. I don't get to see Alex too much. I'm not sure which city he's in at this very moment, but we've certainly kept in touch.
Well, maybe we shouldn't jump to conclusions.
And I haven't seen Maggie.
Enjoying the scenery?
Or Melanie.
Jay!
Or Chris.
I used to be a lot like you. Lost, angry.
Or Jason, in a while.
And it's candy in the pants, baby.
But that's because we're all in different cities.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a quick off-the-cuff question here. Like, were there any relationships on this set?
What, sorry?
Relationships.
What about it? You mean like...
We're gonna get buck naked, and our buck naked bodies are gonna wrap around each other like this?
Like
romantic.
On set?
Yeah, like, I mean, aside from acting, off the set. Any relationships transpiring from the actors being on the show together?
Right. I see what you're saying. Well, like I said, me and Dan and Steve are inseparable, so we sleep in the same bed, and sometimes, you know, I'm in the middle, so things happen.
Okay.
But aside from that, I get no sex, no love.
No.
No, I'm fooling with it too. Let's see. I honestly don't think any romantic sexual relationships grew offset between the actors.
Yeah.
Maybe with other people involved. But I know you want some juicy gossip, and I wish I could give you the juiciest, but I really think nothing really happened.
It don't have to be that juicy. I'm just asking, you know.
Yeah, it's worth asking for sure.
I try to get...
It happens a lot on productions, you know that.
Yeah. I was trying to get that out of Robin, like her and Alex. I was like, what was going on? Like, she's very, very, like, hesitant with her responses. It was hilarious. But,
yeah.
So she actually brought up that she got to watch the rehearsal of the Metal Dude Wop. So, I mean, how many times did you guys rehearse that?
Oh, man, the Metal Dude Wop. We worked extremely hard on that one, that's for sure, because we really cared about doing a great job of it. So, in terms of actual, like, official rehearsals, the music... Well, okay, I can put it to you this way. We got the music ahead of time, so with a lot of communication with Sean Pierce, our composer, and James Gann, the director of that episode, we got the music to rehearse on our own. So each of us metal dudes certainly, you know, worked it very hard privately.
Metal dude, metal dude, metal dude wop. Metal dude, metal dude, metal dude wop. I think we found the key.
But we only had like one recording session, and we got to do it, you know, many takes of it until so we were well rehearsed, but also got to shape it in the studio.
It's his virginity. If he loses it, then holy shit, dude. Whoa.
And the choreography, we did a proper rehearsal, maybe a day or two before shooting. And then after the official rehearsal, we would practice on our own, the metal dudes, you know, privately. And the day of shooting, we spent all day rehearsing by ourselves.
Okay.
So not too much of official rehearsals, but private rehearsals amongst ourselves, we three dudes, tons. We loved it very much.
And we'll have a lot of fun. For Todd will be the pure evil one.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance. Totally caught, I would say, probably everybody off guard as soon as you guys started snapping your fingers.
Yeah, I loved it. It's really unexpected, and that's something I love about it. Is it's incongruent. You know, everyone would expect us to do a metal song or something. Here we come with something like, you know, so smooth and definitely out of time and place. And there was a lot of anticipation on set for us to get on because we're really doing something weird.
Yeah.
And we shot our Dude Wop at the end of the day. So after doing a bunch of other, you know, scenes and musical bits for with other characters, I think the anticipation was built up right to, all right, the metal dudes are coming on, and everyone got together to watch us do the first rehearsal of it on camera, and it was nice to have everyone applaud for us because we kind of knocked their socks off because it was so unexpected.
A plan. What an awesome fucking plan.
No more beating his meat. No more whacking his snake. Gotta get him some up. Get him totally laid.
Well, it looked like it was a lot of fun too. I saw some of the recording session, like behind the scenes. Looked like you guys had a lot of fun doing that.
Oh yeah, it was a dream. It was a dream doing it. So fun.
So the weed, real or not?
It's fake.
Come on,
it
man.
Fake.
You're in Canada.
Yeah, we got to smoke this herbal stuff that you can get at a nutrition store. It's made to smoke. It's like for stage and film, but also people, if they wanted to just smoke it in, you know, regular life, they could. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, we smoke a lot of that stuff, and we'd be high as I'd probably be barfing all over the place if it was real.
Are you kidding, man? I can barely find my feet.
Yeah.
Do you remember the house party episode?
Yeah.
Yes. Those kegs were real beer.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was real beer until I was done for the day. So if I had known it was real beer, I would have drank that shit for real while shooting.
Yeah.
And it was Alex who said, "You know, guys, it's real beer," and we all felt ripped off because we didn't know. We could have been drinking that shit while shooting, which would have been fun.
She loves beer. Maybe a bit too much.
I mean, and probably would have got everybody a little bit looser for the episode as well. That was one of my favorite episodes, actually.
There's so much going on. It was that was great fun too. And Warren Pisanata, the director of the house party episode, really captures young people's parties and young people socializing, and you know, the way young people hang out. He does that really well, and I found that coming through in that episode. You know,
This is gonna be the best party ever.
It was pretty accurate in terms of how the high school kids and a bit older, maybe like 19-year-olds, would hang out. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I loved how the record was placed in that episode. That was like my favorite part too. How old it looked. Like you guys are like this '80s metal band and everything. I personally think they should sell that to, you know, in the store.
Yeah. Well, you know, the record itself looks amazing. The album cover, if you remember, the Astronaut the Innkeeper cover. I love that. And recording the song was such a blast. We didn't record, there's three of us dudes singing the song. I can't remember what it's called. I think something about the prophecy, of course. But the three dudes were not recording that song together. We did it, you know, separately. Mm-hmm. And Steve was the first one to sing his bit. So I was listening to his vocals as like as part of the guide track. And I just was in stitches laughing because, you know, we were encouraged to go balls out with the recording. And I think all three of us had, like, we just fed off of each other's energy without being in the same room even, you know?
Yeah. It made it that more funnier that, like, because you guys really weren't singing and you were being enthusiastic with their personalities. It just made it even funnier. The way you guys changed your voices to get really into how to find the chosen one, basically, or how to find the pure evil one.
For the end of the world to happen, the pure evil one must do 3 things. Number 1, the pure evil one needs to hold the book of pure evil.
Number 2, the pure evil one needs to be filled with anger and frustration. Number 3, the pure evil one can't bear the mark of the loser, and loser means virgin.
You can't be the pure evil one if you've never done the nasty.
Like, in your own words. It was just really funny.
You know, this is something I really love about this show, is that we're always encouraged. Okay, I'll tell you, from every level, from the performances, like the performers, to the directors, to the writers, to even space, and you know, people who were the upper, you know what I'm saying, like the people in charge and all that, the executive producers, everything. We were always encouraged to go more. Like, there was no too much. There was no giving too much, you know? We could push all our choices as far as possible and have fun with it. And that's something that was special about this show is, you know, it's not a subtle show. There's guts everywhere. There's blood everywhere. And, you know, the jokes are off the wall. And, yeah, we cuss and all that. So that is the fun thing, is there's no restraining ourselves at all at every level of this. Like, Space was encouraging the writers to go further with it in terms of like don't hold back, go make it big and bizarre, and that trickled down to even the actors of go big and bizarre. Don't go small.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that made for excellent chemistry between everybody, I think.
Yeah.
So. I mean, what would be your expectations for season 3?
I don't really know what could happen with that. Only because, in terms of like the standard or older model of TV production and the networks and all that. That might be a real challenge, so I've heard. By the way, I don't know too much because I am not one of the producers. So I only hear a little bit from reliable sources, but I don't know the full story. But in terms of like the regular way of, getting networks to drum up the money and support to make another season happen, that might be a big challenge. But because of this new era of Netflix, internet, different ways of getting TV shows out there, web series, whatever, there are so many options now. That makes things more hopeful, I would say. But in terms of the traditional model, I don't know if that's necessarily the best option anymore for making season 3. Maybe an alternate venue is a better option.
Yeah.
So
nothing story-wise in your head that you would hope for with your character?
What would I hope for? Sorry?
Yeah, as your character, as Eddie, like, expectations for him is, like, what do you think about that? Like, just off the top of your head, nothing that you know.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this much. I do know that after season 2, the spell got broken so that the metal dudes were able to enter the high school.
Yes.
And I would anticipate that in season 3 we would cause some crazy shit in the school. And not just be confined to the parking lot, so hell can really break loose with that. I really liked the strange sexual weird stuff that happened because the 3 of us became Nikki, and yeah, we took Todd's virginity and all that. And I just feel like we are 3. The sex aspect of it is something that could really go far with this. And yeah, I think that hasn't been that's we've only just got a taste of what the metal dudes and this crazy sex stuff can be. And imagine a season 3 where we just don't give a fuck about what we fuck, who we fuck, where we fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's just we will do whatever we want because we're pure evil dudes.
Now, I actually have a question. You're probably not going to be able to answer it for me, but I got a string of questions between, like, Nikki and the 3 guys. Like, who's the actual? Is it? Are you guys really Nikki, or is Nikki actually 3 dudes? Like, you know what I mean? Like the 3 guys were present the entire time and morph into her. But I recall hearing, you know, Brody saying something like to Todd, like, I have no idea why she was into you. You know what I mean? Or maybe it was to Jason Mewes' character. But either or, it's like she has a mind of her own. So that's my question right there. Like, who are you 3 guys? The actual like 3 guys? Or you? Is it really just Nikki?
Right. Well, I can say this much because I actually don't know the truth to what we're speculating. Because I know Craig and the writers know the answer to this for sure.
Yeah.
But they make a big point of not telling the actors too much.
Yeah.
The actors are often left in mystery also about some of our backstory, and we're discovering things as we're handed the scripts.
Yeah.
So Craig and gang know the answers for sure. I can only give you my speculation, which is we might have possessed Nikki, or maybe Nikki was never a real human being woman ever, because we know the metal dudes have been around for a long time. And if Nikki were, well, roughly, in Todd, you know, the present time for the show, right? Nikki would have been roughly 30, because she's a bit old, or because that's mentioned in the story, is that like we haven't aged in 30 years, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she's definitely not high school age, because she is a bit older than Todd,
Yeah.
The characters anyways. So we might have created Nikki right from the get-go, and she might never have been born as a regular human being. And we might have done that to fuck with Jimmy the janitor right from the start.
Because we know the story with Jimmy the janitor, and with that whole like Nikki was all into him, and he kept you guys out. It kind of, now that we know what we know, like it was kind of weird. Like why did they morph from Nikki and chase after him, and then turn into Nikki after he did the spell, when Nikki could have went into school with him type spiel. But I'm guessing you don't know any of that, like you're telling me.
I don't know the correct answer, which is something that's good about the show, is we keep the fans guessing. Even as I mentioned, even the actors have kept guessing for a while. But I can tell you this because it's kind of insinuated towards the end of season 2. The metal dudes are probably as old as evil.
Okay.
And we're probably buddies with Satan. So as old as Satan and evil are, that's probably how old the metal dudes are.
Like, yeah, the show led me to believe, like, they were a key part with, like, Satan, and they were, like, banished or something. And, yeah. I mean, of course you can see with me fumbling over my questions, I'm dying to find out, just like the rest of us. So...
Well, I do love how a lot of fans have created their own backstory for the metal dudes, and because they're really into it, and they're trying to make up the stories for themselves. And, you know, we get referenced to... or compared to like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, or even Cerberus, the 3-headed dog in Greek mythology, and all these like old mythical stories of representations of evil. The metal dudes have been compared to that stuff too, and I love it when audiences are creating their own stories.
So, is there anything that you would personally want to say to the fans right now? Because they're all going to be looking at you.
Oh, for sure. I want to thank all the fans for being so passionate, and for fans like you and Tyler and many others who are taking a proactive approach to this too. They really love this show, as does the cast and crew and all that. We love it too. And there is only so much the production side of it can do, to keep it going. So thanks to all the fans for picking up the baton to, carry it as far as they can also. And I feel like it's a nice community we've created between audience and us who make the show to kind of join efforts to keep this going.
Yeah.
And even before this whole thing about keeping it going and all that, the 2 seasons we've done so far, we cherish the work we've done, and we think the fans have really enjoyed it, and I think it's gained some kind of cult.
Oh yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah, and so cult means passion, and so thanks to all the fans for putting their passion into this show and, you know, really supporting it and watching it. And even to the networks that have supported us too throughout this, the last few years. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and we need you guys in order to exist. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my fear is that, you know, it's going to be like a Scarface situation. You know, when that movie came out, it bombed, and now it's like the god of all movies to like most people. You know what I mean? Like, like 20 years later, it's like the biggest film to everybody. It's most popular and everything. My fear is like, yeah, we have this cult following, but it's just not big enough. So hopefully the fans seeing you right now and all the other people we interview, you know, seeing that you guys are ready and willing to get back on it. You know what I mean? Like, that should help the other fans push themselves to do something on the internet and try and raise more awareness to get this going, because we're dying here.
For sure. Yeah, we want to keep it going too.
Yeah.
And hey, who knows? Like, look at Arrested Development, a show I love.
Yeah.
And now they're shooting their new season.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since their last stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, with good patience and effort and love from fans and everything, who knows? We could be back in due time, you know?
Yeah.
With some patience. Yeah. So I hope none of us lose faith in this, because it's a world unto itself, and I want to learn more about this world that the creators have made.
Great. Well, I'm gonna give the spotlight to Tyler now to do a portion of the show where actually he's got questions for you, because he's definitely a fan of yours, and I had to hold back on my questions because I want him to have them. He's gonna wing it, and hopefully we get, you know, good reactions out of you. So
let's see what happens. What's up, Tyler?
What's going on, Norman? How you doing today?
Very good. Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, great to see you again, too. First off, I gotta ask, what was it like to just sit there in a parking lot of, like, a high school set in this old rickety car rocking out with your buds? Like, the guys you go to dinner and sleep in bed with, really. I mean, like, what was it like just to be sitting there rocking out, smoking your joint or whatever you're doing in the show for a script or anything, and just have all this blood, guts, and, like, freaking penis chunks or whatever just like fall on the hood of the car? What was it like just to turn the windshield wipers on and watch it wipe away?
Oh man, it feels like the greatest job ever. And you're right, all we had to do was just chill, and all this weird shit would happen to us and around us, and we just had to absorb it.
Right.
It's just see body chunks fly at us, and oh man, and all this weed being smoked and all that. It's just being thrown into this bizarre world of awesomeness. And we just had to sit back, lean back at the car, and take it all in.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
And another question for you too is kind of like Tristan was talking about in that scene where you said loser. Now, when you say you emphasis on never wasting words, give a little background as far as how you feel about when words are wasted.
When words are wasted, you mean in real life or on, you know, working on a film, TV show?
Any point in time, TV, movies, real life. I mean, real life situations are always going to be the best, especially caught on camera.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you two examples that I'm probably not even going to talk about film or TV then, because, you know, let's talk about real life. I think two main lessons I've learned in life are don't speak unless necessary, because you can make a fool of yourself by saying too much. I'm learning that still. And a girl, one of my first girlfriends from when I was 13, a long time ago, I had nothing to say to her after a while because we were just kids. And, you know, there's not so much conversation going on between us after a while. And I realized that silence is actually all right. You don't need to fill in the space with wasted words. Enjoy the silence together. And in fact, if you're with your girl or whatever, and it's all, you can enjoy silence together, that's golden. That is someone special. Like, you can share that together.
Word. Wise words from Norman Yeung.
I will say, I do have a sappier side of me when it comes to movies. For instance, my favorite movie, as far as a romantic movie goes, is The Notebook. Okay, everybody knows about it. Oh, come on. Sorry, heterosexual life partners getting a little touched, but yeah, I got a heart behind me, so I mean, you know what it is.
He's gay. Very.
One more question before we get to our short answer game would be, who was your favorite cast member to work with in Resident Evil Extinction?
Oh, wow. Or you mean Afterlife, actually?
Well, yeah, sorry,
Afterlife, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, in Resident Evil Afterlife, well, my favorite. Okay, yes, it's true. Okay, I know actors always say this shit, like we're all, you know, oh, it felt like a family. And yes, in this case, it did. We were totally supporting each other. And, you know, in an action film like that, where you're getting dumped into water and hordes of zombies are running at you, and there's like all this green screen stuff, and it's like a crazy world in our imaginations, and on set, it's crazy because there's blood and, you know, all this stuff, gunfire and all that. We do support each other a lot. So there's a nice bond that's created among actors when you're faced with all these crazy filming circumstances, right? So yes, there's tightness among us all. And yes, working with Mila and Ali and Wentworth and Boris and Casey was fantastic. But I got to say, of course, because I played the assistant to Kim Coates, and I spent most of my time on set with him, and he's a Canadian, I felt a real nice bond with him, especially because we could talk about his Canadian upbringing, and, you know, we're talking about some sport teams and all that are Canadian and all that. So he's been in LA for many, many years, but he's a Canadian at heart, and he'll be the first to tell you that. I shouldn't even say Canadian at heart. He's a true, through and through a Canadian. So that was a nice bond. And yes, so playing his assistant in that movie and spending so much time with him on set, he kind of felt like a mentor to me. And that actually is what our characters in the film are. He's the mentor to my Kim Yeung assistant character. So,
that's great.
And he's a really funny guy too, so that's nice to have a guy on set to bring some levity.
Yeah, it's always nice to have somebody who's there that, you know, the comic relief always lifts the weight of the world off your shoulders. I mean, you got to have a good laugh. I do got to say that. But
hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders.
We're going to get to our game. So pretty much just a reminder of how we're going to go about this. I'm going to say a name. It's going to be a familiar name of a cast member of either Resident Evil that you were with or Todd. Mainly Todd characters. So, and you're going to give me a one-word description of them. First thing that comes to mind. I don't care if I name off one of the girls and you're like, sexy. That's fine. Do it. All right?
All right.
All right, so we're going to start off with Warren. What do you think about Warren?
First of all, wait, you do mean like War P. Sonata?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because if you don't say the last name, I wonder if I'm thinking the wrong person.
Okay, that's fine.
You're not going to give him
okay, so
I'm not going to be able to, though.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay, I'll start again then. Warren.
Yep.
I keep thinking about his beard. It's a wicked beard.
It's a beard.
It's a beard, man.
Next go.
All right, Craig.
Love.
Andrew.
Hard ass.
Norman.
Norman?
Yep, Norman.
Motherfucker. Sorry, did you say Norman?
I said Norman.
Motherfucker.
Brody Sanderson.
Tattoo.
Bill.
Ginger.
Alex.
Alex. Fucking guns.
Chris Levins.
Oh, hilarious.
Melanie.
Hot.
Maggie.
Hot.
Brody Metal Dude.
Hottest.
Robin. Robin.
Sweetheart.
And what about Mila Jovovich? What do you think about her? This is the icing on the cake.
Yeah, she is such a wonderful woman. She's warm, brilliant smile first thing in the morning. Makes you feel so good. You walk into that makeup trailer, and it's like 5 in the morning, and we're all groggy-eyed and all that, but just to say good morning to each other and see her light up the room with that beautiful smile and her wonderful persona, or not persona, but her wonderful glow first thing in the morning really warms me up.
Hoagies and grinders, hoagies and grinders.
So when you
Very
say
nice.
when you say that she's warm, what extent are you talking here?
Really inviting and well, I appreciated this from her, especially like my first day on Resident Evil was, well, Mila came in, and first thing she did was came up to me, offered her hand, and says, "Hi, my name's Mila." And I said, "Hi, I'm Norman." Yeah, I know who you are, Mila. You know, I've watched your work for, well, since I was a kid. And she's actually not much older than me, but she's been, you know, in the public eye for a long time, of course, right? So, like, yeah, like watching her in many of her earlier films. Yeah, I've grown up watching Mila's work. She didn't have to tell me who she was, but it was very nice of her to just offer her hand and say, "I'm Mila."
So kind of pretty much when you first met her on your first day on set, and she walked up to you and shook hands with you and introduced herself, you kind of felt like, I'm inviting you in to be part of my life right now.
Slav Joe, Slav.
Exactly, and because you know that franchise, she's carried it on her shoulders for now 5 films.
Right.
It's so much a part of her, and for her to welcome new people to her world is really generous of her, and very nice, and she does it with great class.
That's definitely great.
Slav Joe, Slav Joe.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Norman.
And
you got
smoked.
We'll do that. We'll make it better. But it works. You did great, man. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Today on the Daily Smoke. Today on the Daily Smoke. Norman Yang. From Todd in the Book of Pure Evil. Today on the Daily Smoke. Norman Yang. Today on the Daily Smoke. Norman Yang. I don't like how our voice put it. This just in. On the Daily Smoke. Norman Yang. Loser.
Wait, we're done?
Yeah.